Okay guys, we're back today. Y'all have any questions about yesterday? We covered a lot of stuff yesterday. A lot. Guys, for those of you that weren't here, you better watch that video.
Your SOL.
'Cause it's, huh? She probably should have today.
I sent it around 12:30.
Yeah, usually around noon or 1 she usually posts it the next day or whatever, so. If it's not on there, I mean, just make sure you watch it before next week, because the train's moving. So you need to load these things on, get them going, because if you have problems or whatever, you need to get a hold of me and come in one day early so that we can figure them out or whatever. But it's pretty self-explanatory. It's not real hard, so, I mean, but we're not going to spend a whole class doing it again. So watch the video, do it, it'll be fun. I don't know what the deal is tonight with this thing, but once again, the train's still moving, so it is what it is. So I don't know if that lamp went out or what, but whatever. So tonight.
Oh, there it goes.
Better.
That's how it was last night.
Was it?
Just
But it's better
dim.
than the blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I
think it is
should move it
going.
up a little bit because you can't really. Well, maybe.
Is it
How do you
Just
move
zoom it in.
forward? How do you zoom? Where
Right
is it?
there on
That's
top.
right top. Maybe just moving it up would help. Yeah. See it. They just won't see you very well at all.
Yeah. I'm sure they're not either.
Yeah. Exactly. Here we go.
So I think we're on caps and fonts.
Yeah. We're skipping the bilingual.
Yeah. Does anyone need the Spanish or the French version?
You have Portuguese?
We
Only because it's your birthday. Only because. Okay. Stuff we've already gone over. Not splitting the atom. We're talking about on your hyperkeys. So it toggles from cap to uncap with the what?
With the A.
A.
How about that?
You can see it in blue. It's the A. So it's not real hard. There's several different ways you can do stuff. So if you're writing on your machine, just write the brown car on your machine.
How do you do that? It's not her birthday, so go out.
So she can sit
Crazy
outside.
birthday, don't yell at me.
Okay, now get on brown and mark it, which is what? M, and then push A.
Oh, yeah.
So see how it caps it? It should cap the whole thing, did it?
It caps the whole thing, and if you do it again, it goes back
It
to
should toggle.
lowercase.
So it should toggle the first cap, the first letter. If you hit A again, it should cap the whole thing. Then if you hit A again, it should take it back to lowercase. Does it?
And if you hit it one more time, it capitalizes the first letter.
Yeah.
Brown, B.
Yeah.
It went over to the next one.
Huh?
It went over to the next word.
Yeah, mine did too.
Oh, I'm supposed to mark.
M. No. You're not global anymore. You're going to mark M.
Did you
Yeah.
do both words? No.
I just did
Oh,
brown.
there we go.
Oh,
There we go.
Okay.
Stay with me.
There's the way.
Stay with me. I know I'm going at rocket speed. But
Mach 1.
stay with me. So if you get on the word, do A, caps first, K, A again, caps the whole thing. So now just get out completely. You're in hyperkeys, get on the word brown, and do Shift A.
It capitalizes the whole thing and then goes to the next word. that the way it's supposed to do?
Yeah, so it'll cap the whole word and go to the next one.
So it went to the next one and I capitalized the next one.
Because you probably hit it twice.
No.
No, but the same for me.
Hmm?
Same for me.
You shouldn't have. So get out of it, do Z, ZZ a couple of times, make sure it goes back. It didn't?
Too late. You gotta mark it.
So that's gonna go smooth. Well, you don't have to mark it. You don't have to mark it. Just get on the ground and do shift A.
Yeah, it did move to the end.
You did what?
Didn't do it the first time.
Oops, doesn't work.
Yeah. That's some weird things.
Just mark it again and then do A, and it should take it back to
Oh, so
small.
that's what I'm doing wrong.
Guys, did y'all call and get that oops thing taken care of?
Yeah, I called them, and then while I was on the phone with them, it wasn't having a problem. And they were like, it's probably your computer, it's not the software. And don't let the computer company tell you that it was our software, because they'll try to blame us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that was my
they're
attempt.
pretty cool like that.
That's what I said.
Yeah. What'd he say?
They hung up on me.
Weird. Weird.
Oh, that solves that problem.
Yeah. So does it do it still?
Off and on.
It still does it?
It works. Yeah, mine does this one.
Well, one day that it's doing
Sometimes.
it, you need to call them.
So I need to call them right now.
It only happens right now.
It's happening right
in this
now?
class.
Imagine that. Only in class, yeah. Maybe it's a Wi-Fi in, I don't know, maybe it's asbestos, I'm not sure. Anyway, just keep breathing.
Thank you.
Don't freak out.
Don't freak out.
I had my doubts.
Now he knows.
Every day.
I don't
My
know.
mouse stopped working
The
great
Harry
too.
Potter thing. Done.
The batteries? You know, they just have whatever it is called.
Okay, so another thing that you can do is you can get on a word and you can do control hyphen. So get on a word and do control hyphen. Should bring this up. So you can underscore, bold, italics. We've already kind of gone through this, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. So if you do control shift F, guys, pay attention. If you do control shift F on a word, now you can mess with the font. So if you want to bold something, if you want to change the font style, if you want to change the size of it, you can. Underscore it, any of that stuff. Control shift F changes the font.
Shift Alt B will be bold.
Okay, single space, double space, we talked about this last week. Alt dash, and then alt equal. So alt dash is, or alt hyphen is single space. Alt equal is double space.
Wait a minute.
So see how it double spaced it? By doing alt equal and then do alt hyphen, takes it back.
Yes, sir.
Got it?
Yes.
All right, any questions about that? Good.
What was the font?
Yeah, what?
Control Shift F.
I don't know, but what was the right before that? Because I changed it and I don't know.
Do what?
What's the average height on?
Just keep messing with it till
Control
it's,
shift it.
it's probably about 14 or so. Would you put it on 80?
No, I changed the font.
Oh, I think it's.
It's Control Shift F. Is that what
Press
you're
Z like 30 times.
Somebody's learning.
You pay attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to be the
Um,
lovely assistant.
Just what? Okay.
I think it's New Courier. Is what it is. Yeah.
Are you doing that or is it doing it by itself?
It's doing it by itself. Day of the Dead. Happy birthday.
Somebody's upset.
Yeah.
Let's do some weird stuff.
Let's see how to select the dictionaries that will be used for translation and for global language. I'll open my user settings and go to the Dictionaries dialog. This indicates the dictionaries that will be used by default each time the translator starts. Here's the name of my main dictionary. By default, each job has its own dictionary, but you can specify a master job dictionary. So if you're working on a large case, you can say that you want all of your job dictionary entries to go into one dictionary. This will keep you from having to manage a bunch of small dictionaries. Here you also see the name of the dictionary in brackets. That means that it will be available from the Globaling dialog, but it is not being used for translation. If I want it to be used in translation, I'll put a check in the box next to Use in Translation. I'll press the OK button to save these changes. I've pressed Alt-T to open the Translate Notes dialog. Here are the dictionaries that I have set up. If I want to make a change that will affect only the upcoming translation, I would use the Dictionaries button. But if I want to make a change that will be remembered as part of my user settings, I would click on the gear icon or press Alt-U.
Not that big of a deal. When you go into
All you user.
I'm sorry. Alt-T. When you go into Alt-T, which is what?
Translate.
Translate. Okay? So when you go in there, you can select real time. And then if you know you're going to be doing a job that day, you can go in there, select real time. It's always going to put your main dictionary in there. Okay? So that's always going to be in there. And then, you know, say you're doing, yeah, imagine that. What you got?
Alt-T does not work on.
Mine either.
Huh?
Yeah, mine's not working on mine either. It's so weird.
Alt-T?
Correct.
Yeah, now I'm like, seven and
Oh, because you're already in a job. It's not going to translate in a job. I'm in the, so if you go to the gray page, just minimize your job
There you go.
right there. Does everyone know what
Yeah.
minimize?
Yes, got it.
Hey, trust me. We're in week 10 and we're still on the square wheel.
No
So-
funciona.
Huh?
No funciona.
On the gray screen,
Go who?
Alt-T.
Still not.
It's still not.
It's not working.
Go into your lesson
Never
and
mind,
work there.
whatever. Huh?
Next.
You can come up here and do translate. Do y'all have translate? Do y'all have the translate icon?
Yeah.
It may be because you have a job open that it's not letting you do it.
All right.
Because the machine's already, it's already reading into your computer, so that might be why. So get out of that job, just cancel the job. Oh, the little thing.
Okay, now it works.
Yay! Yay! Let's eat cake. So, huh?
You sure that's water?
You can go to Alt-T. Oh God, I wish it wasn't. Select real time, and then you can come into the dictionaries and just push it, see what happens. There's probably not anything in there.
It's gonna.
But it's gonna open this. So if you have any dictionaries that you've already put in, you can go in there and select different dictionaries, okay? Like if you have an oil and gas dictionary, you have a medical dictionary, you have a CPS, Child Protective Services, and you know, like, guys, I sat in there 22 years, so I mean, I had a dictionary that I used all the time,
So with that, like, so CPS, some of that involves medical and some of it not pertain to everything else. So can you select different dictionaries at one time?
That's what these things are for. You can select up to 8. I think you can even do more than that.
So you can use them
So
all
if you
at
have a
once.
medical CPS case, yeah, you can. Okay?
Like sportscasters will have one for, like if they're covering the Olympics, they'll have like different ones, or.
Got it.
Sweet.
So it's giving you different things where you might have a dictionary entry of a job dictionary. I don't know if I said that right.
You're good.
Whatever. But you might have ABD, and it's just, you're the P off from doing and. So it's kind of a misstroke for you, but you have it in your dictionary, and it comes up as and. Well, in your medical job dictionary, you can do ABD as abdomen. What?
I'm guessing it is, and that's not water.
Good guess. ABD as abdomen. Okay? So, kind of LUP, you're just missing the I for lip, but LUP could be liposuction on a medical. So it's just a brief. It's different briefs that you use in different dictionaries. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So when would you put a word in your main dictionary? Because what if there are general medical terms or whatever? When would you put it in a job dictionary, and when would you put it in your main dictionary?
Well, if you write ABD and you do it all the time for and, it's still going to go in your main dictionary.
Right.
Because you're going to do and, I don't know, 40, 50,000 times in your court reporting career. Maybe more than that. You may do it 40, 50,000 times in the first year. Okay? But you know that you're doing a medical malpractice about a thing about an abdomen. And you're going to stroke out abdomen every time? Yeah. If you do, let me know how that works out. When your
What if you
wrist
just
falls
created
off.
like one of those conflicts, and you like global the conflict and train, because you said like Eclipse is, gets to know how you write. So if you had ABD, A, and D, and they knew, and your Eclipse knows, why wouldn't you just put it in your main dictionary? Just.
Because you're going to use and about, out of those 40,000 times in 1 year, you're going to write abdomen maybe once. Unless you have that big job, and it's a big job that you're taking a lot of depots in, and you're writing abdomen, then maybe. But you're having to go through there now and have to select. So every time you do and you set it up as a conflict, now you have to go through there and select 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 every time on and. Every time.
But what
you
if
hit
Eclipse
ABD.
can tell when it's like,
And it may. It
What
may
if it
eventually. But maybe the one time you need it, it doesn't.
yeah.
So that's why I would create a job dictionary rather than
Just
put
put
it
it
in
on
my
your
main.
main.
Yeah. But thanks for the argument.
Let's see how to optimize your Total Eclipse dictionary display.
Whatever.
Eclipse dictionary information is presented in
Good
columns, and each column heading is actually a sort button. So you can click on the text column heading to sort.
So you can go into your dictionary and always, I mean, and you should. You really should. I don't do it as much as I should because I stay busy. So like during my off time, I don't want to, and I should, you know, because the more you clean up your dictionary, the easier it's going to make it for you. It really does. But it's like, I'm going to play golf or whatever. Okay, so, but I mean, you know, you're just sitting there messing around with the computer. You know what? I'm going to go in the dictionary and just see some of the stuff that's in there. And you can go through there and modify all kinds of stuff. And it tells you all kinds of stuff. It tells you when you actually created the stroke and put it in your dictionary. It'll tell you that. It'll tell you the day maybe you modified it, how many times, on what date you've used it, how many times you've used it. So I mean, it's actually pretty cool. And the artificial intelligence, it'll tell you how many times the artificial intelligence went in there and fixed it for you. So it's actually pretty cool.
Your entries alphabetically. The program also keeps track of when each entry is created, modified, and used. And you can sort by each of these categories of information. You can also sort by the number of times an entry is used, the number of conflict resolution rules that Eclipse Artificial Intelligence has learned for an entry, and the number of stenostrokes or words that make up an entry. Perhaps you'll only want to show a few columns of information so that you can choose a larger display font. You can still see all the information for an entry by opening the steno bar. Shift-Control F5 will show or hide the note bar. The vertical display of your steno can make it much easier to read.
It's actually pretty cool. The next time I use it, be the first time I use it, but I mean, it's actually a pretty cool deal. So it's Control Shift F5. Will bring up your note thing and give you information on it when you created it, what it's supposed to mean, and stuff like that. So.
But here you will also see all the information you would normally see in columns, even if you've reduced the size of some columns to a width of 0.
Any questions? Good.
Does that Shift Control F5 only work in the dictionary, or does it also work in your?
I think it just works in the dictionary.
It's just for the dictionary.
Yeah.
Let's see how to make dictionary additions or changes. The globaling process is certainly one way to add entries to your dictionary. But even if you don't have a text document open, whenever you think of an entry you'd like to add to your dictionary, you can simply press Control D. It might just be a name that you know you'll need to write.
So we already know how to do this, right? We did it yesterday.
Yeah.
Control D. You can be anywhere and do Control D. You can do it now. And it's going to open up that little box where it has like the little steno thing. You don't have to use the little steno thing with your arrow, okay? Just write the letter. What?
Did something fall on the screen, or is that how it's supposed to be?
No, I just stopped it in the middle.
Oh.
Relax, lady. It's not your birthday. But exactly. So, I mean, the control D. So say you hear a word and it's like, I want Mr. Gemin. And he's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to start using you for all of my depots, okay? I don't think I have Gemin in my dictionary. I'm going to put it in there. How would I do it? Gammon. Okay. So, and you're always just thinking. And you're going to hear words. Guys, I've been doing this 26 years. And I still hear words that it's like, I don't know that one's in my dictionary. Okay? So you can add stuff to your dictionary by doing the control D. Okay?
Just as you spell check your documents, so you can check the spelling of entries in your dictionary.
Just as we spell check.
Control Shift S should be your friend. Control Shift S is spell check. And not everybody uses that. And you should. I've seen some of those tests. You should. Okay?
So whenever the little box comes up that says scan for,
Mhm.
is there anything that's supposed to be checked? Or will it, there's little boxes that you can check off translated text, untranslate, unselected conflict.
Oh, what?
But it could be this, like this, because I'm not in my, see, if I did a Control Shift S, and that's what popped
Oh,
up.
you did it in the, yeah,
Okay.
because it's in a tutorial. But if you're in your job, which you should be, huh?
I'm in a job.
It's the same thing that pops up.
You're in a job. Well, guys, pay attention. If you're at the end of the document, guess what? It's not going to do it. So how do you go to the top of the page? How do you go to page? Huh?
F.
Home key or any of that.
Alt G.
Oh, wait, F is fine.
What'd you say?
Sorry.
Home key.
Yeah, like the regular home key that comes on your key.
No. Alt G is go to page. You can do it right now. So do it right now. Do Alt G, 1, enter. And if it puts you in the middle of the sentence right here, whatever, just arrow over to the first word that you did, and now do Control Shift S.
So you do have to start from the top.
Yeah. And it'll scan forward.
Okay.
Okay? And it'll stop on words that it doesn't know. And maybe they're right. And you just need to add them. So there's a button there that says add. Make sure that it's correct. Make sure that you want it in your dictionary. Because once you add it, it's in there. So say you wrote and it was ADN. And it landed on it and you're like, oh yeah, add. Well, you just added that to your dictionary. Now you have to go through your dictionary and find it. Okay? So be careful with that, but it's
Or
good.
go to untrans
Once
or
we do that, the
unglobal.
Control Shift S, we check off what we want to scan for, hit OK, and then it should go on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I didn't. Go ahead and check them all. Okay.
Let's see, I need to open one.
Moved it on.
Transcript. Here we go. Oh, a swear word in there. Sure why. I did not know I wrote a swear word today. The first one on. forward. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
There it goes.
We're okay that one. And you're just thinking of two.
Oh, I have it on the automatic, like it'll read word for word.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah, it is. I agree with that statement.
get. Cheers what it is.
We're just trying it out.
Control Shift Delete.
A double answer.
I don't have to delete
I
them.
want to join paragraphs. All right.
Did anybody else's freeze up? No.
So we close the whole.
Yeah. Let's get back into it.
Here it is.
This one is Control Shift F.
I don't know how I did that.
If you Rollins it, okay?
You back in?
So I'll check all of them.
Y'all good?
Yeah, so we're just gonna pretend that we did it, but he didn't.
Huh?
Now what?
We're gonna do it again.
Okay.
Yeah. Relax, lady. Not your birthday either. Everybody thinks it's their birthday today.
Coming up.
Is it? April Fool?
Let's see how to conduct dictionary searches. When you open the Find Dictionary Entries dialog, your cursor is placed in the text field. Let me type in correct and press OK. The display is filtered for me to show only the entries that contain correct. These entries are currently sorted by steno, but remember that you can click on any column heading to sort by that category.
So try it. So go into your dictionary,
The steno.
which is just a little icon up there. You can just select dictionary
F9.
or F9. And then over here it should have find, like find an entry or something like that.
Hit F. Hyperkey F.
So it should open this thing right here. Does it?
No.
Yes.
Yep.
Enter. Press enter.
Do hyperkey F.
F.
Works too.
F on.
Okay.
Now is everybody here? Okay. And then just right here in the text, type in correct. Press enter.
It tells me that it's not.
Does it go to it?
You have a small
You have
dictionary.
to go to the exact match in order for it to go
Do what?
to, no, on text, short text, I usually go to exact match and it'll take me directly to.
Any steno, any text. It doesn't do it?
No, it
But
doesn't,
does it-
but it goes to, am I correct first? I guess because
Use a
it's
brief
not
report.
orders.
It goes to the first one. A.
Depends on
Am
what
I
phrase I'm
correct?
doing.
A.
Yes.
That's the first correct you
KREKT
have.
is how I do it.
Yeah.
That's
So it's
The
an
only
A and I
time
look
it
at it
doesn't
right.
always search for me is with capitals. I've noticed
I can
that'll
send you
throw it off.
like a release dictionary.
Like I can look up, are you married with a capital
send you
A,
the
it
one
won't
that
come
gave-
up, but if it's a lowercase a,
Very
it
changes.
comes up.
Well, there's
See?
a thing over here where you can look up all capital words.
Which
So, but
dictionary
it
are you
won't
in?
like search for it. Like capitals where it draws the line of.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's a little quirky, but yeah. So when you go in here and you do all steno, I mean any steno, any text, anything that has correct in it, it's going to bring up. So it's going to bring it up in that box. Okay? So that's why it's doing what it's doing. Now, if you want to go to exact Exact is just correct. That's it. That's why. All right?
Let me type in correct and press OK. The display is filtered for me to show only the entries that contain correct. These entries are currently sorted by steno, but remember that you can click on any column heading to sort by that category, so it would be easy to see when the different entries were used, or to sort the entries by the number of times they've been used. I'll return to an unfiltered display by opening the Find Dictionary Entries dialog and immediately pressing OK. Let's look at the dialog again. It contains a large number of shortcuts to help you find entries that meet specific steno or text patterns, and you can combine these searches. Let's say I want to find all my 3-stroke entries that contain capitalized text. So here the display has been filtered by both steno and text, and the entries are still being sorted by the number of times they've been used.
This is actually pretty cool because it'll tell you down here, if you can see, 1 of 1,677. So it'll tell you how many entries you have that are 3 strokes that are capitalized. And it'll, I mean, it shows the whole thing. So when you come down here, that's all it's going to show you. It's not going to show everything in your dictionary. It's going to show everything that's 3 strokes that's capitalized. So you can really focus in on what you need to find. Any questions about that? Huh? It's doing what? Again? And it's not doing it? It's checking it? Alright. Okay, lady. Congratulations.
Let's see some of the choices that Eclipse AutoMagic offers for working with dictionaries. If you open a new dictionary that does not yet have any entries in it, AutoMagic will offer to help you build a dictionary from a word list. Or you can press 2 to add dictionary entries, using your computer keyboard to indicate your steno. Or you can import a file or read a dictionary to add entries to this new empty dictionary. Here are the choices you'd see when you open one of your existing.
So I think, and I haven't messed with it in a while, and I think this is, I hope I'm not overstepping, but you can go to that, build a dictionary, you can go in there and just build it and say medical, name it medical, and then go to the add dictionary entry and then just start adding medical terms with your Control D, remember? So you can do it that way. I don't know if you can do it with your machine or not.
Global it. Each word.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can do it with your machine from that dictionary of build a dictionary entry.
Well, if you made the dictionary, couldn't you just save it, you know, onto that dictionary? Like
Yeah.
when you go into the global,
Yeah.
just do Control B or browse.
But I was talking about going
When
into
you
the
just
build
actually
dictionary when you're in that build dictionary and then doing it from
Oh,
your
yeah.
machine. I don't think you can do it, but I think you can do it through the Control D once you're in that dictionary. Okay?
You can import a file.
How do you get those windows up? Control V and, I mean, I'm in the dictionary, but I didn't have those windows where you could build. Basically, where do you find that?
It should be over here in the AutoMagic. It doesn't give you a build. Just go into, get out of what you're in
Okay.
and then go into dictionary.
It didn't quite look like that, but I don't see
Start
it.
it first. Go get it. This way up.
What?
Go get some pizza.
Oh, it's here?
Yes.
I smell pizza. There it is.
Oh, there it is. Well, no, it wasn't there.
Oh, I was just building this dictionary.
disappear in that little thing it's saying not responding. So it's something with your computer.
Then we're wrapping this up.
Yeah.
My oldest.
Alright, just look over my year.
And as with this new empty dictionary, here are the choices you see in one of your existing dictionaries. For instance, pressing 1 makes it easy to find entry.
So when you're in your dictionary, you can go in and you can do find entries. So when you go into your dictionary, that it's actually in your dictionary, usually the first one is find entries. Okay? So this helps you fine tune what you're looking for. Okay? So it's going to help you fine tune what you're looking for. So once you go in there, you can find anything that's capitalized, conflicts, phrases, prefixes, suffixes, speakers, numbers, paragraphs. You can find all kinds of stuff. And if you don't, then do that 8. And I mean, you can find anything that's in your dictionary.
Find entries. The most common dictionary searches are listed. For instance, pressing 1 now would filter the dictionary to show capitalized entries. And to get back to an unfiltered display, I would press 1 again to view all entries. Actually, when you ask to find entries, you still have access to all the features of the full Find and Replace dialog. And you can always get to this dialog directly. But the automatic choices can make it easy to perform the most common dictionary searches. Other choices make it easy to add, delete, or modify entries. And it's also easy to mark parts of your dictionary. Once you've marked entries,
So y'all kind of know this already. Like if you're having trouble with the stroke and it's like, yeah, it's not supposed to be doing that. All you have to do is get on that stroke and hit F9 or hit the dictionary little icon and it'll take you right to that word. It should take you right to that word. And then you can kind of modify it, delete it if you need to. We've done that with yours. What was it doing the other day?
Those 2 different ones. So I was doing the period, and then we were getting that block file.
Oh, that's right.
Test,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So if you mess up and put something in your dictionary that it's not supposed to, like, and I don't know, I mean, and I'm not making fun of him, but I am. And he probably globaled the thing and added it as an auto include to put it in as a block file, which it did. And on his period, you know, which is FPLT, it was coming up a block file every time he would hit period.
Oh.
You know, and it's not that big of a deal. You back up. So you're going to back up on your stroke and make sure that it gets on that stroke of FPLT. Make sure that it's there. Hit F9. It's going to take you right to that thing, which it did, and it showed that it was an auto include on a block file for his period. And all you have to do, which is usually one of these things, and it was delete entry. It was like number 3. Push number 3, deleted the entry, and it went back. Push period, and now it went back. Okay?
Or you could do Control-Shift-G.
Automatic makes it easy to remove them, or copy them to other dictionaries, or move them to other dictionaries, or perform other functions like printing lists of dictionary entries or compiling statistics. Automagic makes them easily accessible, both for those who are just learning to use Eclipse and for experienced users who want to work with the program more efficiently.
Ooh, dictionary statistics.
Any questions about that?
Nope.
Good. Excellent.
Except, how do you get dictionary statistics? That one that was just up. Never mind. I'll figure it out later.
Good.
You're welcome.
Excellent.
Let's see how to conduct dictionary searches. As in other parts of the program, speed key F5 or hyperkey F opens the Find dialog. It contains a Go To button that you can use if there's specific steno that you want to find in your dictionary, but you can get to this same function or quickly by using the same command you'd use to go to a specific page in a text document, namely Alt-G or hyperkey capital G.
Got it?
Uh-huh.
Not super
Oh,
tough.
Sweet, that's easy.
Yeah, but it's good. Pretty cool.
Oh, I'm gonna start using that.
The dictionary's Find dialog contains a large number of shortcuts to help you find entries that contain specific steno and/or text patterns. Many of these shortcuts are fairly self-explanatory, but you should explore them. Typing anywhere in the text field is basically equivalent to using the shortcut contains. As for starts with, ends with, and exact match, here's a quick comparison of searching for the same text, but using these three different tools. For exact match, the text is the same, but the steno is different in each entry.
See how you can, and especially like when we get to speakers, holy cow, on how many times you can hit the chord. Because there's 2, 4, 6, 8, there's 16 letters in it. Huh? What'd you say?
Back to my cheerleading days.
What did you say?
2, 4, 6.
Oh, it's your birthday. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it because next Wednesday we go back.
I see you Tuesday, so thanks for the freebie.
That's fun.
Here's how to select multiple dictionary entries. Holding down the Control key while you left-click selects individual entries, or unselects individual entries. But holding down the Shift key while you left-click selects an entire range of entries. And if you hold down the Shift key while you press Control page down, you select all of your entries. If your display has been filtered, you're not selecting all of the entries in your entire dictionary, but you are selecting all of the entries in your filtered display.
Got it?
Yep.
Good.
It.
Excellent.
I'm lacking
Yeah,
any enthusiasm coming from the front of the room.
Take it easy, lady. We've kind of covered this, and I really don't think it's that important to mess with your dictionary that much. If you want to do it,
Do it.
huh?
Do it. Do it.
Do it. You can take a Eclipse class when you get out. And they can show you how to do it. I mean, do what? What'd you say? Just keep the comments to a dull minimum. But it's not. You know, I don't ever know. Other than backing up your dictionary, I don't know that you really want to do a whole lot with it. Okay? You can add and delete, back it up. I don't know that I would do much more than that. Okay? So.
How often do you back it up?
I do mine once a month. Wait, didn't you just lose your dictionary?
Twice a day. I'd probably, I mean, just depending on how much you're using it.
Adding to it?
I'd say probably once every 3 months. I mean, you know, it all depends. I mean, you know, people say once a month. I don't know. I mean, I don't know that you're going to put that many entries in it in a month that if your computer crashes that you're going to lose that much. So.
Well, us as students, since we are building our dictionary, as a student, how often would you back up?
I'd probably
your
do it every
dictionary?
couple of weeks. I'd probably do it every couple of weeks. Because I mean, this is when you're really building your dictionary. So I mean, I'd probably back it up every couple of weeks. Yeah. Any more dumb questions?
Really?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Really?
He said that with enthusiasm, though.
Yeah.
Can we keep the comments
To a minimum?
It's not your birthday.
Who put a quote?
You missed me yesterday, huh?
No, I didn't. It was awesome. No, class wasn't awesome yesterday. It was tough. We learned a lot of stuff. We got a lot of stuff done. All right, so quick fixes for word sentences and paragraphs. Y'all already know, I mean, you're gonna do it probably a lot. I still do it on is it. It is and is it, sit, you know, when it comes up. So, you know, reversing the words, you know, it's, is it your turn? And you wrote, you stacked it, and when it read it, it is your turn. Well, it's not supposed to be it is, it's supposed to be is it. So get on is, you hit Shift R, and it reverses. It'll toggle the words. So if it was right, you just toggle it back. You just keep hitting Shift R. Okay. What's that?
We were toggling. Well, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You were with
You know, these are all commands that we should know already. So prefixes and suffixes is W. S is shave the previous word. Previous. You know, so if you're right here on additions and you need to take off D, that's what it's going to do. It's going to shave back. Okay? Shift S shaves the current word. So the current letter that you're on, it's going to start shaving that. Okay? So you can be on, I'm sorry?
The word,
The show.
not the letter.
The show. Well, it's actually going to start from the end, I guess. I thought it started from the, that shows you how much I use it. But it'll start it from the end. So say you have shaved, and it's not supposed to be shaved, and you're on the beginning of the thing, and you don't want to go to current, all you have to do is do Shift S, and it'll take the D off.
Couldn't you just hit delete and go boom, boom, boom backwards? I mean, it's just
Yeah.
the same thing.
And about 45 minutes later, when you get done, then you can kind of go on with your, it's just, I mean, I'm being a little facetious, but, I
No.
mean, oh my goodness. It's
Somebody
everybody's
needs to
birthday
go eat.
today.
Go get some pizza so you're not so grouchy.
No, it's everybody's birthday today. So say you have shaved, I added the D, okay? Now you do the Shift S,
Okay.
takes it off.
Ah, hey, you were magic.
It's at the screen blue again.
It did?
Yeah.
See that again?
No,
Can you put it on the S? Oh.
it's a Harry Potter moment.
So say it was shaved, you're right here, you're editing,
Expelliarmus, yes.
and you need to take that D off, all you do is Shift S, and it shaves from the end of the word back, okay? S, look, so say you had shaved, and you're here on current, well I didn't need it to be shaved, you do S, and it does it back. Shave, shaves it back.
Small shave,
S.
little shave, little S.
Big S.
Little shave goes it forward. Okay? X is extend the sentence. Change the sentence to a question. Well, I mean, these we already know all of these guys. You should. Exactly.
Well,
Trying to be delicate.
Breathe.
There you go, Tracy.
Breathe.
You got her started.
Mm.
Y'all suck.
Video. Pause the video.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing.
These, I mean, all commands that we should know right here, guys. You know, a shift Q, like say you're on an answer and it's 2 answers. It's an answer, and then you hit answer again when it should have been a question. No big deal. You need to change it. All you do is a shift Q, and it comes over here and changes that little A to a Q. That's what it's doing. Okay? The butting in is actually pretty nice. So like say you're right here. See how it's question, question? See how it's doing that? Check it out. Pay attention. Or not. Can you still see it?
Yep.
Okay. Well, pay attention to what it's doing. So if you do the shift B, see what it did?
It's a dash before the letter.
Put dashes at the end of the sentence, and then dashes at the beginning of the, but only on the question. It didn't mess with the answer.
Okay.
Okay? So say the guy is asking a question. He said, okay, so the car that you were driving, and the guy goes, I wasn't driving, went forward and hit the other car. So now they're talking over each other. You got both of them, but it was a butt in. He butted in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's what it's doing right there. That shift B is a butt in. So it's going to extend it, add it to where they're coming together. It's still one sentence. Like if he said, you said what? And the guy said, Mr. Smith, you want me quoter? I don't know, whatever. And then he goes, no. What I was asking was, well then that wouldn't be a butt in. Because all he did was butt in for him, and he stopped the question. He didn't keep going with the question. So now it's not a butt in, and then he comes down here and he's listening to the guy, yeah, well I went to the store and then we went home. Oh, okay, you went to the store, went home, got it, okay. So now he's just going on. He didn't finish his question. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So now it would just be a butt in there, not here. Where it would be a butt in, where you would use the shift B is where he keeps going with the same sentence. Yeah. Okay? All right. Any questions about that?
No.
You in the front.
Is it like the button? Like I know you're doing it as you're doing this transcript, and as you're writing, you're not going to stop and do it there. You just like take notes.
Yeah, you can. You can do it there.
On the machine.
Yeah.
Like on the
So check it out. Everybody, get your hands on the machine. Is everybody on a page where you're writing?
Almost.
Okay. Pay attention. Pay attention. Okay? This is going to be the question. This is going to be the answer. Okay? So when I have my hand up right here, this is the question, this is the answer. Okay? And your dashes are going to be your vowels. Is that the way y'all do dash?
It is now.
Huh?
I globaled it after you mentioned
Yeah.
it. But it's DSH.
That's the way that I learned it. How did y'all learn? Did y'all learn it?
It's DSH. D final SH. Or
DRB?
DRB, yeah.
Does it work? Write the car
Question?
DRB. No, just write the car DRB. Does it work? It has dashes?
Yep.
Everybody? Anybody not? What do you have?
Yeah.
Who?
Drab.
Drab?
Make it DRB. Or
It's DRB. DR, not DRB on the other side. It's DRB.
Yes.
So it's initial D, final RB. Now is it dash?
Yes.
Melissa?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now do the car vowels and see what it does.
Dashes.
The carry.
Who?
The carry. That's what it. That's what the.
And that's what it should.
Does A,
Your dictionary
It
is
just does
so
AOEU?
crazy.
Okay.
Mine has
Well,
dashes.
then you know what your dashes are now. It's D, RB. But if you want to change it, you can. You need to global the AIO. Okay? So get on do dashes.
Which, that one?
Yeah. Period. Never mind. Okay.
It's just dash,
So what it
dash.
needs to be, if you're going to change it, pay attention. If you're going to change it, it needs to be bracket, dash, dash, bracket. No space, not anything. It has to be in the brackets, and you have to do it right, or it's not going to know what it's doing. If you like the DRB, keep the DRB. No big deal. Okay? Figure out what you want, fix it. Okay? But stay with it. Stay consistent with what you're doing. Because trust me, you're going to use that a lot. People cut in all the time. Okay? And I'm going to teach you how to do it right now. Okay? So, pay attention. I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to say DRB, I'm going to say dash. Dashes. And then you hit your dashes and whatever, okay? Ready? So question. Can you dashes answer I went to the store? And that's how you do it. Okay? Now pay attention. We're going to try another one. Ready? Question. Can you dashes answer I went to the store? Question. Dashes go to the store. Did it come up? Okay, pay attention. Ready? Question. Can you, don't hit anything, answer I went to the store question. Go to the store. Got it?
Don't look at mine.
Yeah.
Okay, now what I want you to do is on that final question, get on G,
Hit B.
and on your computer, which should be in hyperkeys, or Alt Z, you learned that first day, and do Shift B. See what it did? You don't have to go through there. So let's just say, I mean, it was just quick. Can you, I went to the store, go to the store. Well, you didn't have time to put your dashes in. No big deal. When you're going through editing, get down on the second question, and if you do the SB, it's going to do the button. See? Got it? It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's amazing.
So here,
Oh, you know what? Let's see.
I
We asked her
I
if
went
I
here
knew.
for the question, here. But it didn't do it. Was it because there was one right before that or
I
what?
had a de-astroturf, so I think I did the hyphen. Hyphen. Yeah. De-asterisk RB. Yeah, it's de-asterisk RB. See that?
Oh, wait, it was, it doesn't matter. It was what?
All the time, right? Okay, what, you went to first. What did you write? No, I do that too. That happens. Where'd that come from like that?
So right there, you do shift B. Pay attention to what you're doing right there. See where it says, can you go to, now do shift B. With shift B. Okay. Got it? That's pretty cool. So it'll help your editing too. You're probably not going to have it as much here in school, but I mean you could. Any more questions?
Nope. Oh.
So I did it again. But what I noticed was that when I was here, is when I clicked the question, when I hit the question, and then that happened. When I did it up here, I had spaced down, so it worked. You know what I mean?
Coming up with a question. Click on that little thing.
It's the entry text.
Click on that big one. Maybe that big one. Maybe it didn't. If it doesn't, then you need to go into your dictionary and make sure that it's defined correctly. I just defined it, so it should be correct. Is it doing it still?
Yeah, I tried it again.
It's still doing it? What?
And it defined like
Point.
point.
Coin. P-O-I-N. That's like 1.3.
Remember my POINT comes
Yeah.
out.
It comes out as the,
Point.
oh,
Yeah, I did
yeah,
it
it
again.
just needs to
so
be point.
Right, so you need to, that's I.
Okay. All right. All right. What? Do what? What'd you say?
it's still,
I'll mess with it in a bit.
I do not know why that is.
Where's that US general mode, the emergency?
Día de los Muertos.
Yeah, I said that.
And then fashion.
I don't know why it does that.
Okay. Foreign films. Guys, pay attention right here. This is kind of important stuff too.
Let's take a quick look at how to add or modify an Eclipse form field. Here, X marks the spot where I'd like to insert a form field for my exhibit number. I can get to the Add Blank dialog by clicking on the toolbar icon, or by going to the Edit menu to insert a blank, or by using Speed key Control A, or hyperkey capital E.
Control A. So try it. Control A. That's what it's going to look like. Control A. So that's when you want to add a form field. Okay? Everybody knows what a form field is, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's that little blue thing
Editable box.
where you can add things in there. Okay? Witness's name, date, type of hearing, stuff like that. Okay?
The field's label is totally optional. It's just a name that will appear on your blank before you fill it in.
So what this is, when you add that, when you open that, it's going to have that field label. The field label is going to tell you, is going to give the person who's editing, for whether it's you or your scopist, and it's going to tell them what you're looking for. Is that the hearing? Is it a date? Was it a month, day, year? So really that's what that is. So put something in there, okay? Because you want to know, or the person doing your editing needs to know when they should go in there. Okay? Does that make sense? So like when the field says witness, you know you need to put the witness's name. So that's what that's saying. Okay?
So when would you use that?
What?
When would you use that?
When you're creating like a block file, which I just gave you the block files. So if you go into your block files, you're going to see those little blue things. That's what those are. Okay?
Okay.
So you can go in there and modify them if you want to. You can go in there and modify them if you want to. Got it?
Yeah.
The field size here will be irrelevant because I want this to be an adjustable field that will automatically shrink or grow to accommodate my text. Selecting a variable, in this instance, tells Eclipse to remember the last exhibit number and show it to me, but prompt me so that I can change it to the next exhibit number.
So it's actually pretty cool. You know, so say you're going through, you have a hearing, and I just did one last week on a rush job. They had 23 exhibits in a one-day hearing. 23. Okay? So like when you're going through, if you have it marked right, which I don't think I have it marked on mine. I don't, which I should. Okay? And this is actually pretty neat. But if you put the capital EN, EN is for the exhibit number. Okay? So if we do it on the exhibit number, we'll try it. We can try it, see if it works. But like they go through and, okay, I need you to mark this exhibit. Mark, states exhibit 1. All right. Go through there, E, mark it as 1, where you're filling in the blanks. So if you're doing E, it's filling in the blanks. So it remembered that you did states exhibit 1. Okay. 10 minutes later, okay, I need you to mark this photo. This is states exhibit 2. Mark, states exhibit 2. Okay. You're going through there editing. Now you go through there, states exhibit. When you come to the number, now it's automatically going to prompt it in that little blue thing where it's asking you, what do you want to put here? The last one you put 1 on states exhibit, so this one should be 2, so it's going to be flashing in the thing. You know how when you global, sometimes it puts things in that thing where you should know, where it's guessing what you're doing. Okay? Now it's guessing what you're doing now. Last time you used 1, do you want to put 2? Well, maybe it's not 2, maybe it was 22. She had already marked her exhibits, but this one, it was like, oh man, I marked this one wrong, and this one, I marked 22. I pre-marked it as 22, so I need to mark it now, so I need to mark 22. But it's going to come up as 2 because you put the exhibit number, and it's going to stay with you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know if
Is
I'm
there a
explaining
list
it right,
of variable codes, like this EN exhibit number, but are there other variables
but
that
I
you
don't know.
use?
I don't know. I really don't. That may be one thing that you need to call support and ask them about the variables.
Or take another Eclipse class
Just
after
Why that?
I graduate.
Take a real one.
But I'm picturing
An
when you say
advanced one.
I'm picturing when you say exhibits, like a museum exhibit. So I'm
Yeah.
assuming that that's like this is the knife. Is that an exhibit?
Yeah.
So how does that get put into the document? I mean, do you have an example of that you could maybe show us at some point how that exhibit translate into paperwork?
Really, it's just for the reader.
Just for the reader?
So it's not, you're not going to see the gun in the transcript.
Okay, because I'm like,
Because all it is mark. I need you to mark this exhibit.
Oh.
Mark.
Here's some.
And then what they do is they come up and they say, okay, this knife right here, was this a knife that you used to kill the lady that night? Yes, it is. So that's what it is. So really it's telling the reader what it is. So when you go on to, and I'm going to show you how to do it, when you go onto your title page where you have your exhibits listed, it's going to have states exhibit number 1 ... knife marked, offered, admitted. Marked it on 4. They asked some questions about it. Maybe it was on 5 that they offered it, and it was admitted on 6 because people were objecting to it. So you had a little bit of a tiff about it, putting their objections in on why it should not come in. Well, it's going to be admitted anyway, so it's admitted on 6. So you may have marked it on 4, admitted it on 5. Offered it on 5, and then admitted it on 6. It'll make more sense once we start doing it, okay? But that's where the mark comes in, okay? And then that's where the variable stays with you. Yeah.
Same thing with exhibits, but not. Anyway, so court reporters are the keepers of the exhibits.
Yeah.
And evidence
Yeah.
and stuff. So where do you keep that?
In your office. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you have a chance, go down to the courthouse and sit in there and ask somebody to see their exhibit. Go on the criminal side. I took something about 6 weeks ago of an intoxication manslaughter.
Oh, I don't want to see
Yeah. So the girl that sits in there, they do trials every week. Every week, that court, all they do is trials. That's all they do. So all the other courts send them to this one court because that's all the judge do. That's all the judge does. Is hears, I can't even talk. Is hears trials. That's all they do. So, like I went in there to talk to her today because the case that I did 6 weeks ago was on appeal. Oh my God. You walk into her office, it's like a little maze. It looked like a hoarder, like a hoarder's house, where you kind of walk and because there's so many exhibits. I'll get them one. Oh man. Because there's so many exhibits, and I'm serious when I say go down to the courthouse and sit in with some of these reporters, and especially on the criminal side, because they'll have guns, knives, bloody pants, a bloody shirt that was marked as an exhibit. It's crazy, yeah.
How long do y'all keep that?
Civil is 3 years and criminal is like 12 or 15 years.
So you're responsible for that period of time?
Yeah. Because if it goes up on appeal,
What if you're like
You
a
have to.
freelancer? I don't think my family would appreciate me storing.
Well, as a freelance, you really don't. The exhibits go back.
Oh, they go back to
So
the
if you
courthouse.
if you do it in a deposition, they go back. They stay with the deposition. So they'll
Oh, good,
It's in the trial that it stays.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh, okay.
We create court copies, so we'll actually scan in the exhibits, we'll keep them electronically, but then the court copy gets sealed so that they know it hasn't been tampered with, and that's where the original exhibits get attached.
Yeah.
Unless the witness has requested certain documents back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen a couple of calls in the courthouse, and like the drugs and the guns, like the police officers have to come down, but they also have like a procedure like take pictures of them, and then like I don't know, it's just weird. Like one of them had like a huge bag of like weed,
Yeah.
and it stuck the whole office. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Somebody went smoking it?
Yeah. So there's drugs all the time. You know, these guys get busted with drugs and yeah.
So what if it's like a ton of cocaine? Or a ton of...
More than likely.
Don't
that-
tamper with it.
I mean, I don't.
No, but I mean, like in that case, if, let's say it's 500 pounds of marijuana,
Yeah.
do you have to make room in your office for 500 pounds of marijuana?
They may just bring pictures of it.
Oh.
You know, so they'll have it down at the evidence room or whatever, and they'll have pictures of it. And, you know, is it true? You know, because usually when they do, you know, the CSI, crime scene investigation, and they pull over a truck and it has 500 pounds of marijuana, they're already coming and they're taking pictures of everything. So really that's what they're doing, is they're entering this. Now if you get pulled over and you've got a little baggie of meth, you know, they may bring that and say, was this what you had? It may not be in a picture. Is this what you had? Yeah. It was my girlfriend's.
Sure.
Anywho, you know, so it may be like that. So it just all depends. But if they find the actual weapon, they've, you know, and you guys have seen 48 Hours and stuff like that where they're in the trial and he's got that AR-15 and he's holding it in the court for the jury and, you know, this is what he used and everybody, yeah. And, you know, and he's holding the actual gun. Yeah, it happens. It happens. Okay?
I think the variable, I think you just pretty much put anything and it probably connects them.
Now, it has to be specific. So that's exhibit number. So it's going to know certain like codes.
Oh, okay.
Now
Yeah,
what the
'cause-
codes are, I don't know.
Like, because I was just seeing here in the help, it just said speaker and other stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
When I press the OK button, the blank is created for me. And let's also make a blank that uses a file listing parties. I want this blank to act as if it were the last field. Now let's fill in these blanks. This number blank is remember.
So this is what I was talking about. If you can see it through the blue, there's a number in there. It's 237. Okay? Well, what it's saying is the last one that you marked was 236. So do you want 237? You don't have to put 237, but the last one you marked was 236. So it already prompts it for you because you put the EN in there. Okay?
Entering the last exhibit number and making it easy for me to change to the next exhibit number. After I filled in that blank, the system scans to the next blank and offers me a choice of parties. When I press the OK button, the scanning stops because this blank was set to act as a last field.
So what does it
And
mean?
really, I don't have mine set up like that, and I really need to, because if you go into mine, what it does is it goes to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. So I need to put it as a last field. So we can go in there and kind of modify it whenever we come to that. Okay?
What does it mean marked? Marked by?
Oh, like who?
Number blah blah blah. Marked. Marked means.
Well, I mean, you have the state, you have the defense, you have the interveners, respondents.
But marked. What does that mean?
Oh, so I had the list of, like it said, plaintiff, defendant, whatever. So
Yeah.
you would choose a number and it would fill in the blank of whoever it was.
Of who marked it.
What does mark mean? Like
Brought it into present.
Yeah.
presented.
Yeah. Like the state comes and says, I need you to mark this exhibit. They're the ones who marked it. They marked that exhibit. So now it's a state's exhibit because the state's attorney asked you to mark it. the defendants come and, hey, I need you to mark this. Now it's a defendant's exhibit. So that's what it goes in as.
So when we do our mark, it'll say whereupon, and it'll let us choose a person, and then,
So let's try it right now, okay? So get on your machine. Write what I'm saying. So the court,
Like front pam- Oh, all of them.
no, all the, for those of you that weren't here, it's all, where your home is, it's all of those. And that's the court. It should come up, does it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Can you mark this exhibit? Mark. And see how the block file comes up? So now back up. You can back up as high as you want. Just back up, just go up a little bit and then push E. And see how it goes in that field? And now you just start filling in the field. So you can put states, and it's just going to be capital S, rest. So it doesn't need to be all caps.
where does it give you the list of plaintiff, defendant, stuff like that?
You have to create a field for it.
Oh, so this is just a fill in the blank, so this
Yeah.
would have to be created as a different
Yeah.
field.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can put states, you can put plaintiff, you can put respondent, defendant, put whatever you want.
It didn't come up with a number, so this is also a blank?
So he did install it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you need to go in, watch one history, and then go and do all the ones.
Yeah. So put states. Everybody have it?
So hit E. Next.
Yeah.
Career, right here.
That's this one too.
Actually, yeah, we go in there and alt R.
We'll see how long it's short and.
Go up to that. So like south, or put a number in there. Number, if you exhibit, you need, for example, do control, shift F. Yeah, that's. So you alt R.
Pause that, would you?
Sure.